you're buying a stock, and if it doesn't go well, you lost money. But instead of calling it lost money, in the stock market, we call it, that's your market tuition. You paid to learn what you did wrong.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Elite Sales Podcast. I'm joined in studio this week by Jean-Pierre Badon.
What's up, guys?
The birthday boy.
Hey.
Sorry.
Yeah, affectionately known as JP to most of you guys out there. We have John Bacaron with FFL Elite Syndicate.
How's it going?
Oh, sorry. JP's with FFL 7 Pillars.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We've arrived at that name, not changing it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I've changed my name like 20 times. But it's all
We're
good.
still at 7 Pillars.
As long as the production's there, guys. It's all good.
Don't change it since. So
Good.
So, appreciate you guys hopping on and spending a little bit of time with us. John was just mentioning tomorrow is Veterans Day, which I didn't really know because I remember as a kid, they used to observe it every month on a Monday.
On a Monday, yeah.
Well, they switched it to.
When did they change it?
I don't know. So maybe it made sense now because if it was off on Monday, people will still take off Friday. Now you have a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
So maybe they set it up on a Friday so you come back on Monday. So you're only stuck at 3-day weekend. Smart.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, to all the veterans that are watching in advance, a day in advance, appreciate your service. Thank you guys very much for all the freedoms that we had, for all the military guys, you included.
Thank you.
It's a lot of things that we take for granted because we live in such a great country.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had a very spirited debate at lunch today.
Oh yeah, very, very.
Oh, I missed it.
The comedy stylings of JP and Clifton and Yoel.
Oh,
so it was interesting to kind of listen in, but we don't always have to agree on everything. But the thing is, to even have that freedom to actually just sit there and debate, and sit there and kind of talk about different things, and to have freedom of speech and to have the right to be able to do that, it's just it's amazing. Yeah. We take it far too much for granted. But as far as Veterans Day, being that it's on a Friday, being that it's tomorrow, so whenever you guys watch this, how do you work these holidays differently?
So for me, for anyone on this call, once again, thank you for your service. But, we're all independent business owners. So I wouldn't take the time off. I would actually double down on the weekend because people are off. They have the holidays, they're at their house. You can go door knock them and possibly sell some more policies. So for me, every holiday is actually a day where I double down and work more.
Pragmatically, do we do anything different on a holiday?
well, so just to follow up on you, right? So this is the first time it's going to be on a Friday. So if Albert didn't know, some of these clients are not going to know. So just consider it just like a normal day. You keep calling. Today's the dial day. If you're calling and you're booking and you're trying to get in front of a client, they won't even know if you just played through it. Secondly, people will be home. People are going to be available to pick up because it's a national holiday. So it's going to be an off day. So if it's an off day, understand, just like any other holiday, your competition is less. Okay. Competition from agents that plan to take it off, or competition from the telemarketers that are not going to be on dialing because they're off. Yeah. So it's just a lot more opportunity as long as you plan for it and put into work.
Other people's kids will be off too, right?
So, right.
Yeah, they'll be home for sure.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to take advantage. So even like yesterday was my birthday. I didn't take the day off, still hit the phones, jumped on Zoom, made a sale. Cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I treat it as every single day is a work day. The only day I don't work is if, maybe Sunday afternoon or something like that. I take maybe one day off out of the week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, put the time into your business. Everything else will come up for you,
Yeah. So just some practical tips for you guys out there. So, I mean, the thing is, we have the ability to be able to work pretty much any day we want.
Yeah.
We also have the ability to not work any day we don't want.
Right.
That could be your detriment.
That's the second.
And that's a real dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Being here in the, to be self-employed and to have your own business as an entrepreneur.
Right.
Right. So the thing is, we got to be mindful of all this stuff. The thing is, I didn't know that we even had a holiday until John brought it up. Yeah. He actually brought it up yesterday. So then I was like, when did we switch this? Because I remember every day, it used to always be a Monday. Everything was on a Monday. So, but the thing is, whether it is or it isn't, like, it's still business as usual for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only times that, really where I'm like, okay, I'm not working it is Christmas and Thanksgiving, because I assume most people are just not going to be available.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, guess I'll spend some time with my family.
I've never seen
That
you
whole
taking
thing.
a day off last 4 years. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we've actually,
We've never
along with
taken.
Derek, we've actually been here for a couple holidays, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So put the time in your business. It all pay. I mean, it plays. I mean, it pays off, you know?
Yeah.
So the holiday is a great day to understand the freedom that you have in your business too, because number one, no one's telling you have to come to work on the holiday or you have the day off.
Yeah.
You're your own business owner. So you can literally take charge and work every day.
Capitalism, baby.
That's right.
But the thing is too, you got to look at it like, how hard is our work?
Not hard at all.
Do you need to work an entire day to make a sale?
John?
Right. So a lot of people, like, especially for kids, let's say you have a minimum day or a half day for school. Okay, then we can go to work, start at 7 or 8, make some calls until 12 before your kid gets up, and you made some money before you go out and have fun. Because, same thing for children and adults. Do you go right off the bat? Like, okay, you have a planned itinerary, you planned outing. Do you go get up at 8 and you start off? Unless you're on vacation in a different state or country, right? You're going to slack it off. We have an opportunity to do that, especially if you're selling in different states that are 3 hours ahead or 3 hours behind. There's a lot of opportunity as long as you're still in the mindset of selling and being aggressive with it.
Yep.
And just as much as, we make the choice to go work, we're also making a choice to not work when we don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, you just have to understand your financial situation. If you're happy with where your business is at. If it's not, you control it.
Yeah.
Who else is in charge of your business?
That's true.
Right.
The CEO.
There's no one calling you, hey, are you making those dials?
Yeah.
But so speaking of all that, one of the topics that we were talking about earlier is obviously there's the whole Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Yeah.
They were talking about filing for bankruptcy, right?
Twitter itself?
No, Elon was talking about using that for Twitter.
He mentioned.
Oh.
He mentioned it.
Yeah, but Facebook laid off 11,000 of its employees.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg's, lost 100 billion or something.
Yeah, man. A lot of money.
Yeah. There was FTX is going to go under, which is a cryptocurrency.
The crypto guy just dropped like 1 point something billion dollars.
Yeah.
94%.
He lost 94%. Yeah.
94%
like
of his
16
assets.
billion.
Yeah.
He was about to get bailed out by Binance, and they backed out because they said we can't fix this.
Yeah.
Amazon dropped over $1 trillion worth.
Yeah.
Of its total valuation, right?
Yeah. Apple stock matches, or the valuation matches a combined, what do you call it? Amazon, Meta, and who's the other one?
TikTok?
No, not TikTok. The third one.
IBM? Macintosh.
Windows. Yeah.
Macintosh.
Microsoft. Yeah. All three combined. Apple's 3 times that now because of all the valuation.
Their total.
Well, Apple has more than those three combined.
Yeah, they maintain their evaluation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So.
All that to say,
hire more.
well, I was going to say that too, but
hey, 11,000 Facebook.
We got a lot of insurance agents. Like, go out and hire some Apple or some, Microsoft.
There's a heck of a lot of free agents, right?
That's right. Go hire some people.
They would actually know the Facebook marketing too, because they work for Facebook. So that's a lot of good lead generation agents right there, man.
It's like, hey, I already know how to code. I already know how to do all this. I started cool. So here's the script.
I bring all this up because for people that are afraid, are we going into a recession? No, recession's here.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the good news is in our line of work, you can be as affected as you want or be as unaffected as you want.
Right.
It entirely depends on what you choose to do from this point forward.
Yep.
Right. So the thing is, you may be wherever you're at in terms of your business or your life, your personal life, your finances, whatever metric you want to choose to look at. You are where you're at. But the thing is, you're looking at the landscape of everything else going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
And we know some of it's beyond our control.
Mm-hmm.
So we shouldn't be wasting any time focusing on that. So let's look at the upside. Let's look at all the silver lining and everything. So the thing is, we still control when we open our doors.
Yeah.
Still control when we shut it down. Control what type of inventory to get, quote unquote, leads.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I didn't even think about that, but the layoffs and all these people hit hard by recession. There's a lot of free agents out there that we potentially could be sharing this opportunity with.
Yes, true.
Right? Because the thing is, we're in the business of life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Until people stop dying, we're not we're not going away.
We're never going to go out of business.
Also, I'll say like, I heard somebody say this, but it made sense. Like during a recession is when entertainment and like media really grows because people want to look at things. People want to kind of escape their life and they have maybe more time on their hands because they don't have a job.
Or so they got forced to.
Yeah. So if there's any time to lean into social media, to lean into creating content, I'd say like now is definitely the time.
Yeah. I was talking to one of my agents. She's in real estate. And I was telling her, like, so she just got on, right? And what's happening with the market? If the recession's hitting, interest rates are going up, housings are going crazy, there's less listings. I was telling her, look, you're getting into the insurance. Think about the opportunity of these other real estate agents that are probably thinking the same thing as you. Right. So that's the time to capitalize, introduce them FFL, introduce them as a side income or a supplemental income to add to your business. So think bigger, think about more of the opportunity than thinking about being the victim of the society of what's happening to us, right?
I mean, you're a victim if you choose to be a victim in this economic climate, because you could be a victim at any point. You don't need the recession for that.
Yeah.
Right. If you choose to make poor decisions, you choose not to go to work, you choose not to, understand your business, you're going to become a victim. But the great thing about being a victim in this situation is that you can flip it like that. You control the narrative entirely.
Right.
If you decide, hey, whatever's not working for me, the sooner that you recognize and accept it, you can actually go and make a change.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, we've been talking about this a lot. I mean, me, myself, I've actually been thinking about my business, and I'm like, we haven't grown to the level that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, I'm like, what can I really change? I mean, I can't get mad at all the agents be like, hey, you're not doing this, and this is what I told you to do, and whatever. It's like, I can only control what I can control. So I have to focus on what can I do directly? Like and I started doing this with my staff. We did this on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked about, this 1 week, every week we say we're going to change. What are we going to change? And then like for most people, we just think, I'm just going to work harder.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to try harder. I'm going to care more. I'm going to, things that you can't really specifically quantify, and things that you can't particularly affect, in a short-term type of planning.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, let's each, and I'm like, it's okay if we don't know it this first week, but every single week on a Monday, let's get together, let's sit down, let's gather to share these ideas, because it'll help us stay accountable to this.
Right.
But then we'll share, all right, what's one thing you're going to focus on this week that'll help you improve your business, improve your particular department.
There was one back at our old company. We had one of the state directors. He had a sign on his desk, right? The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool, but coming from him, it was funny. I was like, you make a good point on that. I want to steal that.
But it's true. The best people in business know how to pivot. When something's not working, we got to transition to something that works.
Right.
So keep the main thing the main thing. If the main thing is selling face to face, maybe we should sell more face to face.
Go.
That's the main thing. So.
Well, you all need to individually identify what part of your business or your life or whatever you want to fix. Like what's the area that makes you unhappy,
right?
Or what's the area that you're not quite satisfied with.
Yeah.
If you recognize that about yourself, think about what's the counteraction to make that thing change. And we all intellectually could think of it. We all know it, and it may not be the answer we want.
You're right, because it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. We might have to do something that we refuse to do because it's uncomfortable to us, or we just think, man, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be back in that position. Or I don't want to whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we don't make that change, what do you expect to actually change your business?
Yeah. So that's something in our business too. I was mentioning that to one of my calls too. Like if you've done it before, there's this thing called, oh man, I've dialed enough. I've door knocked enough.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that. And then you started feeling a little bit of self-entitled about the
like
things.
You're past that.
Yeah, you're past the work now because you've been here too long, and you're becoming a victim of your success or your previous success. But those individual little things that you started letting go, it's not an accumulation of a failure, right? So sometimes we just got to be humble, man. Like I was mentioning this to Misha, if things aren't doing as well, sometimes we just got to live in the field. We got to live in the field, and then maybe we have to double our efforts because the economic downturn or things are happening with the agents or whatever. That's all it is. We just, as long as we put in the work, things should be working out for us.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even being a victim of your past success. Sometimes just people come and said, "Oh, I came in because I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do that."
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, you don't have to do anything, but it's like, where do you expect your results to improve?
Yeah, isn't that why you wanted to change, because you didn't get the result you wanted in that previous position? Right. You should change that then.
Yeah, unless you had a proven track record that it actually made money.
Yeah,
that actually built up your business and actually helped you achieve a certain level of success. Like, why do you think that? Like, why is it that you think that?
Yeah, it's true.
It's just a stubborn mindset. It's like we feel like we can always get past it, but it's like you keep running into the wall. You're just going to keep running into the wall. You got to find a different way. I'll give you an example. Like when we first started doing telesales, like a year and a half ago, I was struggling like everybody else. So I was like, I gave myself 3 months. I said, if I can't help at least 20 families in 3 months, like I was in the field, I'm gonna go back to the field. And I figured it out.
Okay.
But if you don't, in that 90-day window, get back to what works.
Right.
You don't want to affect your income. So like I said before, the best people in business know how to pivot, like you. Mm-hmm. So keep the main thing. Face to face where it's at. Even though I love telesales now, I mean, I always tell agents to start, in the field, and they should probably stay.
What's the big difference?
The biggest difference is that, say, for instance, me and Derek we're on a car ride. We're going to see our first client, and I'm Derek's agent. Derek's coaching me on what to say, what not to say, and then we get in front of the person, and we showed up, and they say that they see that we care about the client. It's a lot easier for us to close them, regardless of our product knowledge, because we showed up. Right. We showed up to fulfill a service. Derek is there to help that client, and I'm just sitting watching him close the deal. And maybe Derek didn't know everything, but he still closed it because the people, John appreciated Derek and I coming to his house to help him.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. When telesales, it's like, if you're not an expert, they can hang up on you, or you're not going to close the deal because you're not saying everything perfectly over the phone. So the face to face,
enough time to finish what you're saying before you get hung up on. So when you're selling over the phone, you have to be an expert, or at least be an expert in your own process.
It's funny. Me and Albert were talking about this, like how Elon Musk is probably going to fix the issue of, anonymity as far as, people, because if people don't know what you look like, they don't know your real name, you can act real tough, when there's distance there. Right. But that's what face-to-face does. Like, people can't just be jerks. They got to hear you out, because they're not going to, because there's consequences, right? If you're disrespectful. So I think that's like the biggest thing, like,
And also your closing ratio is going to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
When you go to face-to-face, I mean, I close probably 30, 40%, maybe probably 30% over the phone, but face-to-face, I mean, Derek and I can close half the people we see just by showing up. I think you have a good shot of closing more, over the phone, or in the home rather than over the phone.
You still primarily run in the field, right?
Yeah, I still do both. That's my biggest issue, is that, the phone call, you sometimes can go through the process and be more informational and transactional before you get to build the rapport and get to build the trust in front of a person.
Yeah.
So I still have that issue. It's somewhat biased, that because I haven't pivoted completely and I haven't mastered the phones, I still feel like, I'm better in person. Mm-hmm. And then the conflict is, I'm having this mindset, I'm better in person. I go and I get no-showed. I sound better in person. Yeah. Hey, there's no client in front of me, man.
But John, I'll tell you this. You probably are better in person, because you've done it so many times.
Right.
We've only been doing, telesales for a year and a half with FFL.
Right.
So it's like, you've been doing in person for 10 years. So your closing is going to be incredibly high in person,
But then you're stuck in traffic now. The 105, and the 110.
Taking this on the phone.
Man, coming back.
and by no means are we saying telesales and virtual sales don't work.
Yeah. Telesales
plenty of people, you do all telesales.
All telesales.
Uh-huh. So the thing is, it definitely does work. Our point is saying all this. If what you're currently doing, not generating enough results for you, not generating enough activity, your closing ratio is not where you want it to be, you don't have the experience of actually going out and doing face to face, go do it. Like nothing's stopping you from changing to like switch things up and try something different. The thing is, even if you don't sell, you don't get results, you learned.
Yes.
Right. So I mean, I do agree though. I think seeing people face to face, it makes it harder for people to tell you no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like here in LA, we're lousy with homeless people, right?
Yeah.
There's homeless people everywhere. So the thing is, just think about it in this sense, like being face to face versus something remote. If a person comes up to you, a homeless person comes up to you and asks for money, whether you give it to them or you don't, it's more difficult
to say no.
To be like, yeah, no, I don't have anything on me, or sorry,
Yeah, I have an issue with like lying when I have money.
Right.
I don't want to say, yeah, I don't have any money when I have money. I want to like, I don't have change.
or sometimes you just feel for them, you just give them money. But the thing is, it's much more difficult to say no. Like if we get all these Cash App requests on social media, or people text you,
out of here with that.
Cash, it's like block.
Yeah, it's easy to get rid of. Yeah,
because there's the anonymity behind it, for one, because you're not directly face to face. You don't really know that person, so it's like it's easy. But you see someone face to face, there's still a humanness behind the whole interaction, right?
And a good marker, like think about it this way too. We all want to help 20 families to 30 families a month. Yeah. If you're not doing that in a home, try not to transition to telesales, because you'll have less results over the phone compared to what you're already doing. So once you hit 20, 30 consistently, then you can try and transition to something else. That's always been like my factor. I'm like, if I ever have a bad month, I'm like, okay, did I at least do 20? At least did 20? Okay, I'm okay. If I wasn't, I'm like, I'm going to take my butt right back into the field, because the field always works, no matter what skill level you're at.
So that's true. Right? If you're not getting the type of production that you're looking for, staying in the field does help. However, there's a workaround. You know what that is?
Lead flow.
Buy a ton more leads.
Yeah,
that's
man.
true.
Leads.
That's the thing.
Which leads are, a lot of agents kind of think backwards when it comes to leads. And I used to think this way too. Now I'm more aggressive in buying leads. I mean, I buy leads every day. So like because I know I'd rather have 5,000 worth of leads than 5,000 in my account, because I know that the leads are always going to produce me more money.
Yeah.
So your lead flow is key.
It's about economics. I mean, 5,000 lead flow can generate you more income.
Yeah.
Leave in your bank account.
Nothing. 0.00025%.
Put it in crypto. Negative.
Bitcoin.
I want
Ethereum.
money. Let's put it in crypto.
Let's put it in Luna.
FTT, man. Negative 94%.
That's right. So all the new agents on here, please invest in your lead flow. From an agent who never invested and struggled years ago to someone who invests daily, it is pivotal to your success. 100%.
Yeah, going back to that, when did you decide to start buying leads regularly? Because it wasn't the case when you used to come in here and be dialing old leads over and over, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I know. And the funny part is, as we transition to this part of the call, I think I got tired of doing the same thing over and over with no results. Because like, even though you're working leads, like you already know you're not going to close them. Like, go buy some fresh leads, or keep things active. You down the same lead 3 months in a row, yeah, you might get a sale here and there, but you missed out on 10, 20 sales from a new batch.
Yeah.
So that my mindset probably changed like 2 years ago on lead flow. And I got really aggressive this year on lead flow, which obviously affected my production.
Did it have anything to do with having a child?
No, I wasn't. No, I mean, we're going to work harder now. I think the more responsibilities you have, obviously the harder you're going to work, and the more leads you're going to buy, and the more consistent you are going to be in your business. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. But I'm a very competitive person, and I want to make sure I'm always leading the pack if I can. Always want to be producing, always. Because then when our agents talk to us, there is no, well, I haven't seen you do it.
Yeah, they're always checking you.
Yeah, they do check you. They want to make sure that you're accountable like you want them to be accountable. Mm-hmm. There'll never be a month I'll do less than never. Last month, didn't even work. I took 3 weeks off because I was sick. And so I helped 24 families in a week and a half. So imagine when you get to a certain skill level in the game, it's just game over. You keep buying leads, you keep getting better. Now it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's nonstop, So, I mean, a lot of agents that are on this call may already be they might feel that they've already hit the ceiling. But I'll tell you this, you really haven't, because you haven't, until you buy so many leads and you've seen so many presentations, talked to so many people, there's another level to hit. Definitely.
Speaking of that,
level.
so in your situation, right, and you're very upfront about it. You're doing live transfers.
Mhm.
So where do you see yourself scaling in a position of getting into a bigger team volume when not a lot of people can do that?
So I don't preach that the agents do live transfers, to be
Okay.
honest. Not saying I'm better or anyone else doing live transfers is better. Is that our process? You have to be very good at your own process. You can't mess up.
Yeah.
Because that call costs you $80, $100.
Right.
You could have got 10 leads for that, or
Right.
20 leads for that.
Right.
So I just tell all my agents, either sell over the phone, one call close, outbound, CRM leads, or whatever leads you want to buy, or you can do face to face, like with me and you, running in LA. So it just depends on what you feel you're comfortable with. If you're good face to face, why change something that works? I'm good over the phone. I love it. I'm not as good in person. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm good on the phone, but in person, I'm all right. I'm okay. But I kind of found my niche with that. But
Yeah.
Is everybody like that? Maybe not.
Yeah, one thing you talked about the other day when it came over, you talked about how much more production you need doing telesales rather than doing it in person. Does it have an
Yeah.
impact?
I
Yeah.
believe so, because I feel doing telesales, even though it's easier work, you have to commit double the time and probably triple the lead cost too.
What about the
So-
chargebacks too?
The chargebacks are fairly the same as long as you're keeping a consistent schedule, but you're going to spend more money to make more.
Right.
Is it easier? Depends on your skill set. You're a savage in this business. Can you do sales? Yeah, of course you can. But people brand new trying to copy you doing telesales, it's just, there's better ways to make money, I believe.
Yeah, I just think a lot of us have to come to grips with the fact that there's no hard or there's no easy.
Mhm.
It's whatever you decide you want it to be. Because the thing is, what we used to think was hard is no longer hard,
Yes.
because we decided we're just going to do it anyway.
I'll give you guys a short story if you guys don't mind listening to a little bad news before the good.
You
I had-
always giving us this.
Check this out. I had it was maybe 2 months ago. I had like 19 no sales
In a row.
in a row.
Live transfers?
Live transfers.
How much did that cost you?
Over 2,000, well over 2,000.
Yeah, at
Because
least 1,900,
we were
right? 100 each.
More, yeah, because we were having to overbid because it got saturated. There's too many agents using it. So I was bidding 120, 130 per
Kidding?
call. I went 0 for 19. And that wasn't,
You said you were good, man.
I know, right?
He's getting to the part how he became good.
Oh,
Terrible. But I bring up the fact is like that experience cost me, $2,000, $3,000, whatever. That same experience for an agent working CRM leads would have cost him $200.
Yeah.
$300 with a little bit of more labor intensive driving, going to see someone's house, like 19 no shows or 19 no sales.
right.
So I spent 2,300 and you spent 300. We both got the same experience. So that's why I want people to understand there's always a better way, even though that I've learned how to capitalize and monetize what I'm doing now, which I'm pretty solid at. I'll say I know what I'm doing, how to make money. You can always cut down you can always increase your ROI by using a cheaper lead cost.
That's really good though. I always commend you on your mental perseverance, because most other agents would say, okay, I just lost out $2,000
And quit.
this doesn't work for me.
Mhm.
Right. So what got you over that hump to keep on continuing to buy leads and believing into the system and knowing that you're going to be confident to figure it out?
To be fair, it's from our experience before, because we've all had no sales during face-to-face.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's just the same thing. I've had like 10, 11 no sales back to back to back, all face-to-face, sat in front of people.
Mhm.
They just didn't buy. Maybe I was off. Maybe I gave a bad energy, whatever. So I'm like, okay, if I've done this before last 3 years, I know it's the exact same thing. I'm just doing it over the phone. I'm
Okay.
just paying a higher cost. So I didn't even blink one bit. I was like, okay, just next batch, let's go. Because I'll probably get next 5 in a row.
That's good though.
But it was from the face-to-face experience. If I never had that experience, I might have quit if I just started.
Well, I mean, you call it mental perseverance. We with JP, we affectionately call it being stubborn.
I am very stubborn. That's very true.
which is this instance here. It actually was an asset to you. was to your benefit, because the thing is, you didn't get emotional about your business.
No.
Yeah.
And that's a key that I've also seen with you and you guys don't get emotional with your business. And if you have to grow, you have to maintain your level of like being just, everything has to be like day-to-day subtle stuff. You can't freak out, you know. It is what it is. You wake up to 2,000 in chargebacks. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Wake up
You know
to
what I call
6,000.
those? So when you don't get with your recent results. So same thing. And I used to do day-to-day trading just for fun, like 6:30, right? So, I would start my appointments at 9. I'm all like, I'm up.
Scalping.
Let me try to do the day trading. And so it's just like when you're buying leads and you're investing in yourself, right? You're buying the leads, you're buying a stock. And if it doesn't go well, you lost money. But instead of calling it lost money, in the stock market, we call it, that's your market tuition. You paid to learn what you did wrong. So true. You paid $2,000 to start doing 50 families a month.
That's
so
true.
you had an FFL tuition of just $2,000.
That's true.
A lot of doctors go in 6 figures to figure that out, right?
That's very true. And to bring some perspective into this call, if you think about it, and maybe this a little personal, but 3.5 years ago, I had no money. I had living with family, a ton of debt. And now, did I get out of debt? Almost. Living a good life, have cash flow. And it's all from being stubborn enough to believe in myself and to keep doing the process over and over and over and dialing the exact same time. A lot of people give up on themselves too quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Not just that, but giving up on the industry they're in before they master it. Then they do a new industry, give up again before they master it. Then they do a new industry. They could have the biggest, best talent out there, but they don't have the perseverance or stubbornness to stick it out.
It's true. It's true. I feel like I finally mastered live transfers. That's only one part of this business.
Right.
And I've been doing it every single day for 1.5 years. Every single day I've taken transfers. Now I've mastered that part of the business. I haven't mastered everything else. I still got years for that.
We got to give you an associate's degree for that.
That's what. At least a bachelor. At least a bachelor's.
1.5 years. 1.5 years.
Oh, 1.5 years. But I know you're mentioning this to make sure that our agents understand it. It comes from a level of having understanding that it's okay to go through low points in the business because you will get past it. You'll definitely get past it. You just have to work through it. And a lot of agents I talk to, sometimes I feel like they've given up before they even tried. Like when I first joined this business, no lie, when I met Brittany, I was like, I'm going to give myself 5 years. That's what I told myself. I was like, let me give myself 5 years before I even try anything else. And if it doesn't work in 5 years, then I'll consider something else.
Most people say like 5 months. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's
the market we live in.
I see the big picture. I saw the big picture. I saw what they were building. I met John. I met Albert. I saw the business they were growing. I met John. I met Jack. I was like, I could probably do this.
Yeah, man.
And I gave myself time.
We have Albert and I have our old coworker. His same name is John, so we call him Big John. They call me Little John. Big John used to always say, man, people give up faster and quicker than the time they actually took the course to pass the test. Because like for us in California, you have to do a 52-hour course, right? He's like, man, people give up before they put in 52 hours into the business. They spend more time in their licensing than being in the field.
True. But that's because they don't have realistic expectations.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be a top producer. I was like, no, I'm just going to try and make money.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and be consistent. And then whatever that took, then eventually I'll get there. So like, you guys been in the business way longer than me. So when I look at you guys, I'm like, all right, what can I copy from these guys that I don't have the experience yet? Albert shows up no matter what. John shows up no matter what. Okay. I can show up no matter what. Albert buys leads no matter what. John buys leads no matter what. All right. I can buy leads no matter what. So like there's certain things that we can do without having the experience that will get us the money that we're looking for. Without speaking too much, I've made the most money I've ever made in my whole life this year. And that's off my own production. I would have never thought, with managing my money and managing my time, that I could, grow so much money. It's been a blessing. So it just depends on where you're thinking. Are you thinking short term or are you thinking long term? I thought long term, 5 years. I mean, that's literally what I thought. Met you, met Jack, met Sean. I'm gonna give myself 5 years, not 5 days. Oh, I want to be a 30K producer in 5 days. Okay, come on.
That's a good thumbnail, though. I'm going to use that.
I'm just saying.
5 years.
Just saying.
5 days.
5 days.
Some people, especially for like DAOs, like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First hang up.
Oh, my day's shot. I gotta give up. No, and we affectionately joke with JP talking about how he's stubborn, but clearly he's not stubborn. He was just committed to himself.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, earlier when we were having lunch and him and Joel and Cliff were all arguing their points, they're being stubborn to a certain extent. I don't know if stubborn is necessarily the right word, because they all just genuinely believed in their viewpoint. Right. So then they're a little bit stubborn in terms of not budging from their argument against somebody else's.
They're strongly opinionated.
In this situation for each one of us that's building our business, like you're not really being stubborn, because who's arguing against you?
Yeah.
Like this is you battling yourself, telling yourself whether or not this is going to work. Too many times if you come in here and you come in and just you're in a position where you're just thinking, I don't know if this works. I don't really believe this works. Like I'm waiting for someone to disprove me that this does actually work.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a recipe for success. If you come in with that self-defeatist attitude, I mean, what do you really expect to happen for you? I mean, it doesn't mean that we're going to not go through our ups and downs, because John and I have been in business for close to 15 years.
This is our second recession in our business.
We've been through one recession. We're hitting our second recession.
Yeah, man.
We're going to go for the traffic.
Magna cum laude out here.
Trying to get 3 rings.
Getting some good degrees.
And the thing is, while it wasn't smooth the entire time. It still isn't smooth.
Right.
But the thing is, it's not this upward trajectory where it's just like a straight line. There's a lot of ups and downs.
Mhm.
But the thing is, if you continue to just manage your emotions, keep that emotional part under check, you keep it checked, and realize it's not any one event doesn't define you.
Mm-hmm.
Like your current position does not define you. Like your job itself doesn't define you. Like I had a friend that she just got laid off of Facebook.
Yeah.
And then, she was a little bit down, which is understandable, because it uproots what you currently thought you had going.
Mhm.
But I'm like, that your job doesn't define who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we get so tied up into it. So the thing is, we just need to understand and see the bigger picture. We need to just, keep going and just take control one bit at a time. Just take one step at a time. Focus on what's the immediate thing we can do this week or today to help move you in the right direction. Now, the thing is, if you break it down to bite-size activities and just be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna focus on, because I think this is my biggest problem. I'm gonna focus on this. This is the thing I can actually affect. I'm gonna focus on it. I'm gonna work on it. At the end of the day or the end of the week, if you didn't do anything about it, your fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't blame anybody else about it. You whether you did that one thing or you didn't, whether or not that's your fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the thing is, if you did it and it still didn't generate results for you, maybe that's not the most effective plan that allows you to reevaluate. Okay, maybe that wasn't really what I needed to do. Maybe that didn't make a difference in helping to solve my biggest solvable problem. Let me figure something else out.
Yeah. For me, I think, especially when your emotions are getting the best of you, when you plan, the more detailed planning that you could do, the more steps you can follow because you plan that out. Okay. So same thing with working out. If you have a system, I'm doing lats, back, I'm doing this many reps, this many sets, you got to apply that here in the business too, right? If you're just lost, you don't know what you're doing, you're scared of the phones, you got to completely plan out your phone day. Okay. So from 8 a.m., I'm going to clock in. That's going to be my first dial. When's my last dial? At 8:30 or 9 p.m. And then from 8 to 12 is going to be my break. So I got 4 hours in the morning to dial. How many dials can I do? If I'm individually dialing, can I do 50 to 60 dials? Or if I'm going to be on call tools, I got so many phone numbers. Let me see if I can knock out 1,000 dials. So if you plan those individual numbers out, you're getting more involved into the motion of the action than the results. Then the results will actually follow, right? So same thing when you're in the field. From the door knocking standpoint, you don't just go out there and I'm here, I'm in the field. Let me see who I can talk to.
Plan of action.
You got a plan of action. I'm gonna do 5 door knocks in one city, 10 door knocks, 30 door knocks. It's my goal for that day, so that you don't think about when is my sale. When am I not going to get a sale? I had one presentation door knocked and I got declined, or I got yelled at, shut down. Now, do you quit because now your emotions are in front of you, or you're following your path of your goals? I think that's really going to be the most important part. If you don't know where you're at, you don't know how to properly plan, just let us know.
Yeah,
we'll help you out with it.
Definitely need something tangible to
Yes.
measure against. Because the thing is, a lot of times I'll talk to agents, then I'll be like, how's your week going? They're like, not so great.
No.
Or, they're a little bit down. And I'm like,
And
okay.
it's super subjective with the response, right?
And then so my question always is, how many appointments did you do this week? How many presentations did you get in?
Yeah.
And then they're always like, well, and then they kind of, they're making the number up in their head because it's not because they're trying to lie to me. I think they're trying to rationalize to themselves that they actually put in more work than they actually did.
Yeah.
You know what I think that one good thing that I would say from the practice company that we all came from, other than JP, is like it was a very structured company in the sense of every variable was for the most part isolated, right? Like the leads were the same for everybody for the most part. Obviously, there's anomalies, but then you could give someone concrete direction, be like, okay, with these leads, call them 400 times. These leads, call them, 800, whatever. And then this is what our calculations will say. Here's a range of how much money you'll make, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now everyone, with all the tools, with all the different leads, it's tough to give people, specific instructions. So it's a very independent, type of business, which is good and bad, of course.
Well, going back to the structure, we used to always, we even had this one website where every night at the end of the day, you had to go and report your numbers. How many appointments you made, how many door knocks you did, how many presentations you did, how many sales you made, how much it was for. Like there's all these different metrics.
How many referrals you collected.
How many referrals you collected, all these different things. And the thing is, like, it was tedious, so we didn't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
However, the thing is, there's actually value.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's actually value to the extent in which we know a lot of people lied about it.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're going to lie about it, the thing is, you're kind of just rebelling against that system. You don't see the value in it, but more importantly, you're actually not helping yourself either.
Yeah. You lied about your
when they analyze
actions.
your numbers, they're not looking at your true numbers. So you can lie to whoever you think is your upline. You can lie to whoever else you think is your boss, which, newsflash, you don't have a boss.
Right.
It's you. But I mean, if you lie about these certain metrics, or you don't keep accurate accounting of what you actually did or didn't do, you can't help yourself.
Very true.
And if you can't help yourself, if you're where you want to be, great, perfect. Continue to keep doing what you're doing. Don't change it. Don't change a thing. But if you're not happy, like, consider the alternative, unless you want to stay there.
Yeah.
100%.
That's why I think school ruins people. I mean, I don't want to get deep, because then you just do things just to do them. You don't know why you're doing it, right? You know what I'm saying? So in real life, you don't do things just to do them in real life. You have a purpose or a reason for doing things. That's not how school is. You're okay. What's the criteria? Okay, let me just get this done just to get it done. Like, not to help myself, to learn, to make money, whatever it may be. So,
Well, I think
I just let that out.
the schooling part of
I agree, though.
teaching you between pass and fail, which is you're succeeding or failing. That's the big thing, right? So we're not being taught in school to fail or make mistakes, and then that's actually helping you. So we don't thicken up in school. We don't get thickened up by being rejected. Oh man,
You're right.
I'm feeling. I'm
JP again.
Time he's on, he coughs, hacks up a lung.
I'm always.
This happened before, JP.
I know it's happened like 3 times. Sorry about that. This is why they don't bring me on. Oh, the conference. Oh, that was bad. we had the LA conference. I was coughing the entire time, and I was the host. It was so bad.
Go back to Yoel's point real quick. I mean, about school. A lot of times school is difficult because a lot of times we don't, like, we're just told to do certain things and we don't understand why we're doing it. We're just being forced to do things.
Right.
But I think, there's value to it if there's teachers that actually take the time to explain, okay, here's the reason why, here's how it's going to affect you. Here's what you got to look at long term. I mean, that's the thing. And, it's not all their responsibility, because for teachers, pay sucks.
Yeah.
The public school education, even some private schools, not that great. It all lands on the quality of the administration.
Yeah.
It goes back to funding, goes back to a lot of different factors. Too many things to unpack in that thing. But a lot of that also falls back onto the parents' responsibility of letting them understand, like, yeah, you can probably be doing a lot of stuff that you don't want to do. And I love giving parent advice when I don't have kids. But it's just like, if people understood why they were doing what they were doing, they would maybe try a little bit harder. And so, like, relating back to this specific situation, everything that we're telling you here, it's we're telling you because look at the long-term effects, or look at the long-term loss of upside if you choose not to do it.
Yeah.
Like we started off by talking about recession today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be a statistic that's affected. Like we can like counteract everything that happens directly in the economy around us that we can't control, and not to that level. But we can. So we also been talking about politics, around the office and unusual amount. Because midterm elections just came up. But the thing is, for me, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think either candidate.
Yeah.
I don't think either side cares about what happens to us on a day-to-day basis. Sure, it can affect policy, but then how does that change whether or not you can put a tank of gas in your car? How does that change your day-to-day?
Yeah.
So so many people get tied up in, they get tied up in the media. They start looking at social media. They start debating with their friends, start arguing with people on Facebook they don't even know.
Yeah.
And for what? I mean, just pay your bills. Like take care of your day-to-day stuff first. Put in the work. Like come up with a plan, and just after that, once you're set, it's actually genuinely affecting you.
Yeah.
Then go and try to affect some political change.
Yeah.
You know what's funny when you said what's generally affecting you? I know we were going to talk about Americo, and the benefits of writing Americo.
Perfect segue. Look at that.
I mean,
I see like Americo.
Okay, something like that.
Wow.
But
Okay.
But like, okay, Americo, there's a lot of good things and a lot of good things about it. There's no bad thing about Americo. The reason why I say that is because I was a stubborn agent at first, and I never wrote Americo. Why? Because the price is higher, right?
Right.
So that just means that
for
I'm
certain
not
products
for certain products for certain age
Okay.
for certain products, certain age brackets, the price could be a little bit higher. But you have to learn how to factor in the value that you bring to your client of what you're telling them. So I would say, hey, now when I talk about America, it's the best thing ever. Number one, they pay their death claims very quickly. I've experienced that. They pay double and triple accidental for most of their policies for Eagle Premier.
What does that mean? Can you go back into that second point?
The double and triple accidental
indemnity.
Okay, so double and triple indemnity. What that means is if a client passed away by accident, like car accident, pays out double the face value. A common carrier accident, meaning airplane, public transportation, railroad, something like that, it pays out triple. So that comes at no cost to the client. It's already built in the policy. All the other companies charge for that, or they don't even include it. So Americo, in my eyes, now I'm like, I only promote Americo, not only because they pay the client or they pay the agent very well, but they also take care of the client on the back end with all these extra things that most other carriers don't do. So like when I first started, I was writing primarily Mutual Omaha, because it's cheaper, or Transamerica or whatever, or Aetna. But now I write a specific product with Americo because I know the bigger picture. They service the agents. They service the agents. All these carriers, and I'm not going to say anything good or anything bad. People pass away, they all pay out the death claim as long as they didn't lie on the application, as long as they didn't commit suicide, the family gets paid out.
Eventually, some
take longer than others. However, on the agent side, that's where the big difference. You want to wait 5 weeks to get paid, or you want to get paid in 2 days? You want to get paid 10 points on your production, 10% on your production, or you don't. So I'll give you an example. I was telling Al before we jumped on this call, I lost 40,000 in bonuses just from not writing Americo the previous 3 years.
It was like 50,
probably more than that. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Because I wasn't writing Americo. I was writing Mutual Omaha and Aetna because it was cheaper. And it helped the client, when all reality is a $5 difference really matter? Probably not. It's the value what you bring to that client. So just now, picture 3.5 years later, the last 6 months, I told myself I was going to focus on Americo, only Americo. Now, 3 weeks from now, I'll get a 10,000 plus check, bonus check, just for doing my job. So just imagine if you're an agent, you help 100 families a year. Well, every 6 months, you're going to get a $5,000 check. I help between 200 to 400 families a year. So I'm going to get probably, imagine what you can do putting that money back in your business or paying other stuff or whatever.
Yeah. And the best part is they pay that out before Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yep. So a lot of agents that are on here, please write Americo. It will definitely help in your business. Not only will it help pay you more, the bonus really does come into effect, and it does really help you more than you can ever imagine, having a one-time lump sum of that type of money coming to your account. So for everyone that's on here, please focus on that. It'll do magic for your business.
Prosperity offers the same thing. 10% bonus every quarter.
That's true.
Which Jack Heller will be in town December 1st. Looking forward to seeing my
Nice.
man. But also instant decision on every application.
Every application. So say for instance, I'm helping out Yoel. He's diabetic. He's taking metformin.
Oh man.
Besides that, this is Yoel when he's like 75. So
Don't put the energy.
okay, you have nothing going on. So he has no to everything, nothing going on. We submit the application with America. We get an instant decision. The policy number is instant. You get the America policy number right then and there. You can give it to yourself, give it to you. And, the client, there you go. You can give it to the client. The client's covered as of that day, so that's very powerful because most companies do not do that.
And with instant decision, how much more follow-up or how much less follow-up do you have than having a bunch of other
carriers?
Oh,
that's actually a very good point. When you don't have instant decision, there's like at least 3 to 5 more times you got to call that client because you're like, hey, we're still waiting to find out.
Carrier, all that stuff.
Yeah.
More work.
A lot more work. So Miracle makes her job a lot easier.
Like, have you ever tried to call a girl like 5 days after meeting her, like at night at a bar or something? It's much harder.
Than calling.
I'm with someone, so I don't know.
Just like hanging out with them that night. Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad.
You have to call them?
I love how you're trying to do an analogy. You're trying to call someone.
It's relatable.
It's very relatable.
I was like, should I say this? Is this appropriate?
The whole point of our business.
True, though. It loses intensity after the initial
interaction.
The emotion's gone.
Yeah. But our whole goal, I hope, is to make our job a lot easier. Work smarter, not harder. Using a Miracle, you're working smarter.
Right.
I mean, bonus check. Oh, I mean, just imagine all the agents on here if you just focus primarily on a Miracle. What if we didn't have any other carriers? What if that's all we had?
Yeah, managing the back end. I mean, John, you have a little bit of debt. Would it be easier managing it with just one or 3 carriers than going, because you have to now call 10, 15 different companies?
Yeah, you some agents will play around with okay, I got one debt here. Let me try another debt. Let me try another company here. And next thing you know, you're building up multiple little small debts on each carrier. If you pick the main 3, the best part about it is, one, you're going to get your bonuses, but you don't have to have multiple back portals to keep on following up with your clients, right? And you can keep it in a one-stop shop. But more importantly, the more you can master that, the more you can train your agents and downline and scale that way too.
Simple.
Yeah.
Keep the main thing. Miracle, Prosperity, AIG.
Yeah, that whole thing with I got a little bit of debt here. I'm going to write with this carrier, and then now I have debt with this carrier. I'm going to go right here.
Yeah,
we were making that analogy. I'm like, I did that in college with credit cards.
Yes,
I take out a credit card, max it out. I'm like, oh, I'm out of money. Let me go apply for this one. And then you go and you apply for multiple. I'm like, I better apply for several at a time, just in case. I'm gonna pay the other one back. I had the full intention to pay it back, but the thing is, like, you're not making that kind of money. Like, I wasn't working. It wasn't bringing that kind of income. So the thing is, like, you gotta be realistic with yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely. That Powerball is gonna hit.
It already hit. Yeah. Someone in Altadena.
They were saying that they didn't post a live video. Like, they posted the video like later on YouTube. Like, it wasn't a live. Oh, I heard there's like some collusion going on with the Powerball.
Oh shoot, I bet.
Well, you can't trust gambling. What can you?
But the reason why we're mentioning the whole big 3, I know John was hinting at this, is that it's easier to track your business.
100%.
And as you grow your business, even if you're your own agent, you are your own business. And then when you when you have a team, you have more business, obviously. But it's a lot easier to call Miracle, Prosperity, and AIG and know that's where 95% of your business is at. Calling these other carriers and trying to figure out what's going on, it's just a hassle that you don't want to be a part of. So, I mean, as we all enter in, 2023, I would hope that my team works primarily with the Miracle and Prosperity, just from the experiences that I had from the money that I missed out from not using these carriers. I missed out on a lot of money because I was so adamant. Oh, it has to be the cheapest. The cheapest is not always the best. Yeah. We're over here with the Miracle. I compare it like this. No disrespect to any other company. I'll say, hey, a Miracle is like a Bentley. You're over here trying to sell a Toyota Corolla with Mutual Omaha. Of course it's going to be cheaper. It's a Toyota Corolla. We're selling a Bentley. Why? Okay, they don't even compare. Double, triple accidental, pay the agent more, pay out the client faster when they pass away. take forever to pay out. Pay us in a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah. What do you say to people? A lot of people now are on telesales, right? And then the agents are scared. Oh, I'm getting my America policies getting replaced by other carriers and other agents that's also doing telesales.
I would
How do you
say,
protect your clients that way?
John, I would say my policies, and I mean this with the utmost humbleness, that my policies don't get replaced. The reason why is because the relationship I build with my clients, the personal touch that I give them, every single client that I sell over the phone, I give them a thank you card with my business card. I follow up with them when they get their policy. I did a policy review with the client last night. Got a referral from it.
Nice.
So a lot of the things that I do, I say, hey, John, I understand you work with a ton of sales agents. I'm now your insurance underwriter that's been assigned to you. So I'll always be here for you. Any questions that you do have, please do not hesitate to call me. And then also too, just so you know, I do work for myself. So I do appreciate your business.
Okay.
Little things that you say, people are like, oh, wow, this guy, he's good. I like this guy. So if you stay humble, you show that you care about these people. I haven't had one policy replaced from a different carrier this year in telesales for facts. That's not maybe before, because I wasn't as strong and confident in what I'm saying. But now, when I'm speaking things, it's the God honest truth.
Nice.
It's not just,
People are not going to take that time to replace it.
Right.
If it's, if you did a great job, like $5 is not worth that extra time. If they really can trust you and rely on you for your professional.
Well, I've had clients call me, say, hey, this guy from so-and-so company. You could add all that. I'm just
I can't.
I'm just telling the agents, like, hey, these are the companies we're competing with, right? Hey, this guy offered this. Is that true? But they call me first.
It's good.
but that's a really good point. I mean, aside from JP's irrational confidence, it's not just that he's doing such a good job of solidifying after the sale. It's more that he's learned from his past experiences.
Yeah.
He said people haven't replaced his policies this year.
Yeah.
He replaced them in the past.
Oh yeah, because everything is transactional when you first start. Now everything I do is relationship based. So my clients, they love me now. When I first started, they probably don't know me.
Yeah. So you added your personal service.
I would say personal service. And then also too, I'm not overselling. When I first started, and a lot of agents on the call, they might have this issue too. We think of the commission, right? We might sell, $150 a month. Well, it should be like $80. So I down close a lot. So say, John, I'm sitting with you, and he said, I could afford $200 a month. I say, hey, John, let's go ahead and start with 120. And then, next 6 months, if you want to increase the coverage, just give me a call back.
Yeah.
Make nothing of it. You say, oh yeah, 120, that's cool. Let's do that.
Yeah. If you did a good job of selling, it's like they're buying because of you, not because of the product, not because of the price.
Exactly.
The thing is, they're buying because you've informed them properly. You knew when to shut up. You didn't overtalk it.
Right.
You were able to ask them about their day. You were able to solidify. You're able to be available for them when they need you in the future. Like all these different things, like they're buying you. Yep. So like if you're focusing on like, oh, this one's a couple bucks cheaper, you're not really even selling it. You're just leveraging the tools that you have at your disposal. Mm-hmm. And then the thing is, that's the reason why someone can come in and replace you right away. Yeah. If they're strictly based on price, if they find something cheaper, they're going to go with them. So if you just take the time, take pride in your work, and actually just, it's not necessarily what you specifically say. It's just, you showing the client that you are a professional, you care about your job, you're going to do something that other people can't offer to them. Yep. Or won't offer to them.
Yep.
That's why they want to stay with you.
Yep. 100%.
That's much more important if you're really getting that point across to them. So focus on all that. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to share before we go?
Just write more America.
I agree.
Yeah. Write all America.
America, Prosperity, AIG. Stick with those ones. Can't go wrong. And and wrapping up, I mean, the thing is, I know we talked about, it seemed like a lot of doom and gloom with the recession. We talked about the crypto market crashing. We talked about a lot of things that seemingly came off as being a negative thing, but actually it's not. Because the thing is, if we look at the economy in general, you look at the crypto market, you look at the economy, you look at the work economy, look at our business. The thing is, if you decide to think it's difficult and it's a difficult time, there's a downturn and we can't do anything about it, trust me, there are people out there that are in that same sphere making a lot of money.
Yeah.
So those people are choosing to not look at it the same way they are opportunistic, in I guess in a good way, but then they see opportunity and they're actually going to go after it. So the thing is, you can look at it as being a problem, or you can look at it as an opportunity.
Right.
And someone's going to make that money. You can choose whether or not it's going to be you or it's going to be somebody else.
Yeah, what did you say? Sharks will always eat, right?
Oh, you always say
hungry dogs always eat.
always eat.
Hungry
That's
dogs.
true.
I stole that from Mark Mead, by the way.
It's true. Hey, it's true though.
But it sounded cool.
I mean, we've been in a recession. My income hasn't changed.
Hey,
Your income hasn't changed. Your income hasn't changed. Last 3 years, 4 years have been boom, boom. This sky's the limit.
Right.
So
Choose to look at it the right way. So if people are not working, I mean, this is when they need more. If they're looking for opportunity for work, you have it. You can provide that for them. I mean, we're just blessed to be in the position that we're in. So don't squander it. Let's see it as opportunity. So hopefully that's a helpful stuff. I appreciate JP for coming on. Happy birthday, my man.
thank you.
And happy Veterans Day to everyone out there in the service. So for everyone that spent a little bit of time with us, appreciate you guys hopping on. Appreciate you, John, for coming on and sharing as always. So let's go out there and let's go be elite, guys.